This is Talking Heads on Manx Radio. Thanks very much for tuning in to our happy and positive little programme today. Now it's time to find out something about that our Department of Enterprise is very excited about, ISEXPO 2018. It's on Wednesday, according to the effusive PR blurb. The ISEXPO team has been working their magic for months now, securing world-class speakers, innovative workshop hosts and industry thought leaders from both the local community and around the world. Apart from the questionable grammar, it all looks very swish and stylish. So what's it really all about and who's it aimed at? To tell us, we're joined by ISEXPO champion Enterprise Minister Laurence Skelly. Minister, thank you very much for coming into the programme today.
Nice, yeah.
Give us a bit of a feel about what this is all about.
Well, I think most people will know or heard of ISEXPO. This is the third year. It was always about a trilogy, and the concept really was quite simply to promote enterprise and entrepreneurship on the Isle of Man. I think we'd all recognise that the Isle of Man's economy has always been innovative, and what we wanted to do is to sort of promote that in a single event and try and bring as many industries together to promote that. The first ISEXPO 2 years ago was about start your business, and that was obviously when we launched the Enterprise Development Scheme. We lowered the age for young people to apply for grants and support to start their own business. The second year was all about grow your business, so we want organic growth, or move to the Isle of Man and grow your business right here, great environment. And this year is about locate, and when we talk about locate, we talk about locating your business, whether you want to relocate to the Isle of Man or permanently locate your business here. Also, we're expanding that to relocation for people, because the reality is that our economy is moving in a positive direction, but our biggest stumbling block is the skill shortage. So we want people to move here and fill the jobs that we have.
On the face of it, it's all good news, and I think that most of our listeners and I applaud any moves that you're making to try and get more business in the Isle of Man, more jobs for people, more money into the economy. But is this not taking place in the wrong place? You're talking about location, but if you're trying to get people to the Isle of Man, should you not be advertising further afield, London, Birmingham, Manchester?
Yeah, and that's something we will look at going forward. What we, as I say, we wanted to have 3 years to really sort of cement this this ethos, I guess, is what I would say about entrepreneurship here on the Isle of Man. And I think if you cannot promote the Isle of Man any better than trying to get people to come here to the island. So typically, I'm not sure what the numbers are about people visiting this year, but we have had hundreds of people actually visit just for that purpose. We also get a lot of off-island media interest as a result. And I can remember the first year that we did it, was a two-day event then, and there were journalists from Manchester, Glasgow, Belfast, London. They were saying they couldn't believe how many people we could get in one single event at one time. Even in those large cities, they struggle to promote business and the economy in their locales. So it is actually about promoting the Isle of Man on the Isle of Man, but we do get off-island exposure.
Promoting it is one thing, but I mean, what sort of tangible benefits has it shown? If this is the third year, is there any quantifiable benefit from what you've been doing with this?
Yes, we do. We look at that in a number of different metrics, and some of it is as to how many people actually apply for to start in a business, how many people are already existing in business coming for applications, and we have our officers and team there who are actually monitoring that information, and also jobs as a result of that. And we can actually identify, I don't have numbers for each particular ISEXPO, but there were jobs and investment actually fell off the back of this. But I think more than anything, what we're trying to do here is to promote the positivity around this, because it's all very easy, isn't it, on the Isle of Man, where we sort of play towards our anxieties, but really we need to appeal to our aspirations. And the Isle of Man, I think, has got a really strong legacy of being innovative, and that's what again ISEXPO is trying to spread across the island.
I suppose that a difficult thing about your job is that you've got to try and attract new business to the island. You've got to try and encourage new business sectors to diversify the economy. And again, I think everybody's pretty much supportive of that. But is there not a danger that existing business sectors are maybe being left behind a little bit by this constant desire to do something new and shiny?
Yeah, that's a very good point, really. And it was never about just new business. It was also existing business as well. When we said grow your business the last year, that was really looking at organic growth, and it was always to try and promote that as much as possible. But what we did try and do, particularly with some of these keynote speakers, which some of them were quite futurist, and there's quite an element of futurist in this next one, the creatives in this particular space, they're saying industry, no matter how indigenous or longevity there has been in industry, disruption's coming. Disruption's coming in every facet. You see it here in media in a fairly big way. So what we're trying to do is to say, look, this is where you want to try and be inspired and understand what it is that where your industry and your business is going. And the feedback has always been very strong and positive, because what we're trying to do is to give people, hopefully, in our case, from a department, can we provide the right support mechanisms for them to go through change, and how they develop that going forward.
Isn't it all a bit sort of self-congratulatory, though? It looks to people from the outside. I've talked to a couple of friends who are in business who say it's all about millennials enjoying success in things like online blogging. It's got nothing at all to do with me and my business. Doesn't anybody want to make widgets anymore? Everybody wants to be an opinion former or a website designer or, some sort of a multimedia mogul. We don't hear about people who want to start up a steamworks or whatever, or an engineering works, do we, so much?
Oh, we do, and actually you'd be amazed really with regards to the small business startup to the macro business as it is now. We're seeing a whole host of different industries and businesses. Yes, of course, you are hearing of the tech-related ones because they're in the news, shall we say, an awful lot. But the tech does overflow into many different industries. There's one that we have relocated to the Isle of Man not long ago, and it was 3D engineering in the biomed. So in the traditional way of making widgets, yes, they would have done that in their, as I say, the more traditional method. But now with technology, the advancements there are really quite significant. So it doesn't fit everyone. I agree with you. But what we're trying to do is to highlight I think the breadth and also the innovation that's happening all around us. And you know yourself, you can't stand still in business. You've always got to be looking, see what's happening in the future.
Well, yeah, I've been horribly wrong about these things in the past, because I remember going to an event like this in the 1980s, I think, where somebody was talking about that the internet revolution was upon us. Everything was going to change. Everybody was going to have a computer on the desk, and life was going to be completely different. And I just thought, that's never going to happen. I can't imagine that's what people are going to be connected via the wires. No, never going to happen. And it's just changed our lives. I mean, you can't imagine how we used to do things before Google, for example, can you?
Yeah, it's so true. And as I say, business doesn't stand still. Any successful business recognizes that. And as I say, you can talk a lot about technology, but you've got to try and embrace new, the new mechanisms, the new ways of doing business. And also what we try and do is encourage businesses to look very much outward facing. So you have obviously a captive market here on the Isle of Man, but you've also got the world is your oyster, really. And can you sell your service, your product, further afield is the other point here in terms of marketing, because marketing has changed dramatically over the years, and of course social media has really put a different spin on it altogether. So I think we do need to think more globally, and the Isle of Man, I think, once more I'd say has got a very good legacy in that particular area.